How can a cosigner be released from private student loans? Have you ever wondered how a cosigner can be released from private student loans? This is a common concern for many people who take on the responsibility of cosigning. Let's break down the steps and requirements involved in this process. When a private student loan is taken out, the cosigner agrees to take on the debt if the primary borrower cannot make payments. To release a cosigner from this obligation, the borrower must meet specific requirements set by the lender. These requirements often include having a solid history of on-time payments and a good credit score. Many lenders allow borrowers to apply for a cosigner releases after they graduate or complete their program. Typically, borrowers must have made a certain number of consecutive payments, often around 12 to 24 months, and demonstrate they can manage the loan independently. If the lender approves the application, the cosigner is removed from the loan, and the borrower becomes solely responsible for repayment. It is important to note that bankruptcy does not automatically release a cosigner from liability on a private student loan. If the primary borrower files for bankruptcy and the loan is not discharged, the cosigner remains responsible for the debt. Even if the borrower manages to discharge their private student loan in bankruptcy, which is rare and difficult, the cosigner's liability remains unless they also file for bankruptcy themselves. From a bankruptcy perspective, it is crucial to understand that filing for bankruptcy does not protect the cosigner. The automatic stay in bankruptcy, which halts most collection actions against the borrower, does not apply to the cosigner. Creditors can still pursue the cosigner for repayment during and after the borrower's bankruptcy process. For cosigners worried about their liability, it is wise to monitor the borrower's progress toward meeting the eligibility criteria for a cosigner releases. Staying informed about the borrower's financial situation can also help. If the borrower struggles to obtain a cosigner releases and faces financial hardship, the cosigner may need to consider their options. This could involve negotiating with the lender or seeking legal advice regarding their rights and responsibilities. In summary, while bankruptcy can provide relief for the primary borrower under certain circumstances, it does not release a cosigner from liability on a private student loan. The most reliable way for a cosigner to be released is through the lender's cosigner releases process, which depends on the borrower's financial stability and payment history. Cosigners should be aware that their responsibility remains unless they are formally released by the lender or take legal action themselves.